never be more loved than I am right now. Going through a storm, but I won't go down. I hear your voice carried on the rhythm of the wind to call me out. You would cross an ocean so I wouldn't drown. You've never been closer than you are right now. 'Cause you are Jireh, you are enough. And you are Jireh, you are enough. So I will be content in every circumstance. Jireh, you are enough. Forever enough, always enough, more than enough. Forever enough, always enough, more than enough. I'll never be more loved than I am right now. Wasn't holding you up, so there's nothing I can do to let you down. It doesn't take a trophy to make you proud. And I'll never be more loved than I am right now. 'Cause you are Jireh, you are enough. Jireh, you are enough. That is enough. That is enough. That is enough. You are enough. So I am enough. You are enough. So I am enough. God's word is enough. If he dresses the lilies with beauty and splendor, how much more will he clothe you? How much more will he clothe you? If he watches over every sparrow, how much more does he love you? How much more does he love you? If he dresses the lilies with beauty and splendor, how much more will he clothe you? How much more will he clothe you? If he watches over every sparrow, how much more does he love you? 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 How much more? Love you, Lord, 'cause your mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your hands. From the moment that I wake up till I lay my head, I will sing the goodness of God. Love you, Lord, 'cause your mercy never fails me.
what I did was, this was back in the days before Apple CarPlay and that sort of thing, when I bought a sat-nav, you know the ones you stick to your windscreen? So I bought a sat-nav, and basically it would tell me when the speed would change. Now, we've all used sat-navs, Apple CarPlay, that sort of thing, Google Maps. You know what it's like. You punch in where you're going to go and it tells you where to go. Turn left in 500 metres. Turn left in 300 metres. Turn left in 100 metres. But if you don't take it and you keep on going, the sat-nav doesn't say, oh, well, you wouldn't listen to me, now you're on your own. What does it do? It reroutes. Turn left 500 metres. Turn left 300 metres. What does it? It reroutes your destiny. Same thing in life as well. There are times we make some wrong turns. We make some bad decisions. But God can reroute your destiny. There's some people here, you're living under condemnation because you made one mistake and you feel like your entire life is destroyed. I want to let you know that your life is not a dead end. It's just a detour. And God can turn that thing around in a moment from wherever you are. Some of you suffering are from the bad choices that you made, but I'm here to let you know the Bible tells us in Ecclesiastes, it's better to be a live dog than it is a dead lion. Some of you are here saying, well, I feel like a dog, but that's okay. You're still alive. And God can still turn your life around from where you are right now. You don't have to be perfect and never make a mistake for God not to turn your life around. We serve an awesome God. He's got a plan and purpose for your life. You don't have to be perfect. He works all things together for good. Even some of the dumb mistakes that we make. Second thing he works together for good is this. Bad things. Bad things. He can work bad things together for good. Notice this. It says, and we know that all things work together for good. It doesn't say that everything I experience will be good. There's no promise that everything you experience in life is going to be pleasant. There's no promise that we won't have some disappointments. There's no promise that we won't have some suffering. It doesn't say that every little thing you experience in life is good. It says God works all things together for good. What does that mean? It means he can blend those things up and turn them around and make them into something great. He works it together. A number of years ago, my wife stopped working, so she was home all the time, and so she loves baking, and so she was baking every day, and so she was baking brownies, cookies, muffins, that sort of thing, and so then I'd come home, I'd see them, and then I'd eat them, and then she started saying to me, she says, hey, you better watch out, you're putting on a bit of weight. I said, well, that's your fault. I said, if you didn't make all these baked goods, I wouldn't be putting on weight. Then she says the dumbest thing you can say to someone who's half Tongan, half Australian. She goes, oh, you don't have to eat it. What do you mean I don't have to eat it? If you're making it, I'm going to eat it. And I could always tell when my wife is getting ready to bake things. She starts lining them up on the counter. She starts lining the ingredients. She puts some eggs, flour, sugar, milk, cocoa. She puts all those things out, butter. And as much as I love it, I always wait till she combines it together before I eat it. I don't just say, oh, you're baking, awesome. Crack an egg, have some milk, have some flour. Oh, that was nice, honey. No, by themselves, it's not nice. But you work it together and you can create something good. God works all things together for your good. You've been through some bad things. You've been through some bitter things. You've been through some disappointing things. But I want to let you know that God can work that all together and produce something good from it. And you'll be amazed at how quickly he can turn those things around. The Bible tells us in Romans chapter 5, 3-5, it says, we glory in tribulation, because tribulation produces perseverance, perseverance character, and character hope. And then it says, and hope does not disappoint. That phrase, does not disappoint, it's a double negative. Hope appoints. So what that means is this, you're now ready for the divine appointments that God has for your life. How does God prepare you to have that divine appointment? Tribulation. Enduring and going through a tough time actually positions you to fulfill your destiny. And that's why you've got to keep on going, keep on persisting. I'm sure if we asked every single person here some of the things you've been through, it would be absolutely incredible, some of the difficult things that you've been through. But you're still here, and God can work all things together for good. And he can turn those things around. And you'll be amazed at how quickly he can turn those things around. You know, there was this, in America, there was a celebrity chef, and he had this TV show, and what he would do is he'd, grab items, shopping items, and then he would cook and that sort of thing, and then he'd taste what he's cooking. And if it didn't taste right, what he would do is he'd add another ingredient, and he'd just go bam, and just, do another ingredient. He wouldn't tip the whole thing out. He would just add something to it, and it would turn the whole thing around. In the same way, some of you may have been suffering for a long time. Some of you may have been going through a difficult season for a long time. I want to let you know that God can turn that thing around real quick. You'll be amazed. And maybe all he's doing is he's going to release one opportunity, one lot of favor, one seasoning of grace, and God can turn that thing around. Why? Because he works all things together for good. Because you love God and are called according to his purpose. The third thing that works together for good is meaningless things. Meaningless things. He says, and we know that all things work together for good for those who love God, who are called according to his purpose. So what that means is this. The only criteria for this is the only caveat on the whole verse. It doesn't say all things work together for good for everyone automatically. It doesn't say that. It says all things work together for good for those who love God. So that's the only caveat. You've got to love God. If you love God, then all things will work together for good. So the question is this, how do you know if you love God? Well, one of the ways we can tell, Jesus says in John 14, verse 23, he says, if anyone loves me, he will obey my commandments. If anyone loves me, he will keep my word. So how do you know that you love God? That we're obedient to him and we're obedient to his word. And so what that means is this, when you live a life like that, when you live a life in obedience to him, there are times when you're only doing things because you're being obedient. And you don't even really know why you're actually doing it. I've had many seasons in my life where the only reason I did something was because God wanted me to do it. And you're in that season, you think, what has this got to do with my future? How is this going to make any sense? What has this got to do with anything? And there are times when it feels like it's meaningless. But I want to let you know, it doesn't matter if it feels like it's meaningless. If you love God, God can turn that thing around and work it all around. The Bible tells us in John chapter 3, verse 8, it says, the wind blows where it wishes and you hear the sound of it, but cannot tell where it comes from or where it goes. So is everyone who is born of the Spirit. So what that means is if you're born of the Spirit, sometimes you don't know where you're going or where you came from. Because you're just doing what the Lord wants you to do. And there are times when it doesn't make any sense. Many years ago,